Well, hi YouTubers. Okay, I had to close the curtain a second ago because the sunlight's streaming in. It's part of the Physics 100 books, and yes, I read this book because it's been in my bookcase for the last 2 years, and the film comes out in a few days, and yes, I want to be the kind of person who's like, walked out, film, book was better. So actually sometimes it's not in some cases, but anyway, this book is so good. This book is so good. Everyone's seen the trailer, and the trailer is absolutely gorgeous, and that would actually inspire me to read the book. It's by Ernest Cline, and it's Ready Player One, and here's a blurb. Imagine a world at stake, an epic struggle between good and evil, the greatest quest in history. The fate of humanity resting in your hands. Are you ready? Ooh. So anyway, it's 2045 and the world's gone to shit. Pollution is on the rise. It's a crapsack world. It's overpopulated. There's absolutely no fuel. People have just abandoned their cars because they couldn't afford petrol and just walked away. It is a terrible, terrible world. And so to get away from it, virtually the entire world lives in the virtual world, the Oasis, created by a man called James Halliday, who died about 5 years previous to the point the book actually starts. Now, the dystopic view of America, focus on America, and obviously it goes a bit more global. It's just a terrible world to live. Wade, our protagonist, is in an abusive relationship. He doesn't go to school, he just plugs himself in. The establishing character moment for his family is his aunt comes across his laptop and confiscated it to sell for drugs. And she only really took him in after his mother died because to get more food vouchers. That is the only reason why. So it's a terrible situation for a terrible teenager in this terrible world, but then there's the Oasis. And in the Oasis, you can be anything. You have your own avatars, you can have adventures. It's how you get educated. It's schools. Okay, you plug yourself in and go to school. Okay, it is just a terrible, terrible world though, and it's just a juxtaposition, okay, between the real world, which is harsh and brutal and just terrible, okay, there is some little hopey moments, and the virtual world. And this is where Ernest Cline's writing really comes to thing, because the world of the Oasis is brighter, more enhanced, it's more detailed, it's more depth, and the reality is just dark and grim. There seems to be this kind of juxtaposition between what's better, virtual or real. And the thing is though, this is a book about geeks and gaming, and basically a subculture, as we used to be, being a geek, suddenly, starts to take over the world, as, the geeks should inherit the earth, as they say. So, James Halliday, let me talk about him. So James Halliday was the creator of the Oasis, along with several others, and on his deathbed, he set up a virtual will, stating that within the Oasis itself is 3 Easter eggs, and if you crack the codes of all of them, and if you play the games and you win, you get everything. You get control of the Oasis and his vast fortune. Now, in juxtaposing this, okay, with the Gunters, that is what the community of the Halliday geeks, if you will, okay, the ones who study his work religiously. He was known as Anorak within the games. There is the 101 Corporation, or 101, or one, but still, make it clear. Room 101 from George Orwell's dystopic novel 1984. Okay, Room 101. I got that straight away. Nice little reference, okay? Clever. Now, this book really kind of celebrates the geeks and gaming. And this one bit here, this bit is very, very early on in the book. But this doesn't matter where you are in the world or what time period you're in. This is a conversation every single geek has. I devoured each of which Halliday referred to as the Holy Trilogies. Star Wars, original, and prequel trilogies, in that order. Lord of the Rings, The Matrix, Mad Max, Back to the Future, and Indiana Jones. Halliday once said that he preferred to pretend the other Indiana Jones films from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull onward didn't exist. I tended to agree. Okay? Bit about Monty Python as well. And this bit here. Okay? Star Trek, I did my homework. TOS, The Next Generation, DS9, even Voyager and Enterprise. I watched them all in chronological order. The movies too. Phasers Locked on Target. I gave myself a crash course in 80s Saturday morning cartoons. Learned the names of every last goddamn GoBot and Transformer. Land of the Lost, Thunder the Barbarian, He-Man, Schoolhouse Rock, G.I. Joe. I knew them all, because knowing is half the battle. Who was my friend when life got tough? H.R. Puffin stuff. Japan? Did I cover Japan? Yes, indeed. Anime and live action, Godzilla, Gamera, Star Blazers, The Space Giants and G-Force, Go Speed Racer Go. All in some dialect, I wasn't screwing around. I memorised every last Bill Hicks stand-up routine. However, there's a difference between this and because these gunters, they are the individuals, okay, who are holiday obsessives. But they're kind of obsessive for the wrong reasons. Now, my favourite film trilogy is Back to the Future, because I saw it when I was 5 years old. It's been a part of my life. I own it on Blu-ray. I can quote the entire trilogy, because I watch it as a genuine love for the film. These individuals, these gunters, if you will, they're watching it, studying it obsessively, but not because they love it, they're mining for information. In a way, their nostalgic view is tilted from mine, if you understand. Now, I'm the generation that grew up prior to the internet, so I watched all this stuff firsthand. I love it because I love it, not because I'm searching for something. Okay? Apart from HR Puffin stuff, clueless. Okay? So, juxtaposition, okay, between what they're searching for and the true meaning of it. It's not because they love it, they may have come to love it, but they're searching for it. Through it, if you will. Now, within the, I keep calling it 101, the sixes, if you will, the juxtaposition between the gunters, these individual enthusiasts, and the obsessive sixes, run by a gentleman by the name of Sorrento, who I'm going to get to in a second, okay? But he essentially is a big bad corporation trying to find Halliday's eggs, then take control of the Oasis and the entire sphere and use it for corporate gain, if you will. Okay, so the juxtaposition between the geeks, the ragtag team of misfits, if you will, and a big bad corporation, all taking part in the virtual world. Now, this book though is really, really structured like a video game. It is literally the levels are level 1, level 2, level 3. Now, on Ways of Adventure, he comes across Artemis. Now, Artemis as a character is his, I guess, competition. She's competition, potential love interest. I'm not going to spoil it, but she has reasons for being in the Oasis and she's hiding something. And I'll be honest, when I found out what it was, I just rolled my eyes and thought, who cares? Okay. Now, as a character though, I found her really, really kind of underdeveloped. I couldn't help that because I think that is a genius. That is the actual goal of this book. I just watched it like a video game, not just a video game, an 80s video game. In a way, she is the reward in the end. At the end of a lot of the adventures, the early adventure games, yeah, there's still a reward at the end. But anyway, that's just the idea. I just found it underdeveloped. Other characters like H, even Sorrento, they're more developed than Artemis was, but we didn't really know her. But one thing I did like is, even within this virtual world, there is a social structure. Okay? So, this is the level 2, okay? The Distracted Globe was a famous zero-gravity dance club on the planet Neonor in Sector 16. Ogden Morrow had coded the planet himself decades ago and stood its sole owner. I never visited the globe before, wasn't much for dancing or for socialising with the twinked out once-a-gunter Urbdorks who were known to frequent the place. But Og's birthday party was a special event, and so the usual clientele would be banished for the evening. Tonight the club would be packed with celebrities, movie stars, musicians, at least the 2 members of the High Five. Now, even within a virtual world, there is still a social structure. Now, when he's pretty much at the top, even though he's dirt poor, he kind of earns more level points. But no matter where you are, virtual world or not, social structures do exist, and the bottom of the pile is the bottom of the pile. Okay? I'm not saying this because I'm not really a gamer. I only really play Pokemon, so I'm not a gamer. But I'm into 80s nostalgia because that's the period I grew up in. So, but anyway. But this book is just genius because it really kind of celebrates geeks and geek culture, and it is so fun. It is so fun. Just the idea, maybe it's just me, okay, but the little meta points dropping towards Steven Spielberg in conversation, it's natural, but as he's directing the film of Ready Player One, I found it really, really clever. However, it also shows the absolute hypocrisy of Halliday himself. Now, obviously, those who read the book already years ago thinking, yeah, we know this already, but one thing is this. The virtual world, the internet, hey, I'm recording this on my phone, I'm going to upload it on YouTube, I'm going to post it on Twitter, whatever. Okay, the virtual world, the internet has done so much, but the thing is a tool. It should not be our release from the reality of our lives. What happens if it is? And there is this element of hypocrisy within Halliday, okay, because he found the real world so he found the real world so bad, the reality so bad. He created this virtual world. But with the implanting of these Easter eggs, with the implanting of this idea, okay, this search, these gunters who will do anything to find a search for their prize, he's turned them into exactly what he was. It's like the next generation of James Halliday's, which is not a good thing. I like the hypocrisy of Halliday, even though being intentional, but I think that maybe he's been intention the entire time. To basically wake up. But anyway, juxtaposing this, now I did some research the last 2 days and I found this. Now, Andy Weir, who wrote the book Artemis and the Martian, and I've met Andy Weir and he's a really, really top bloke. He actually wrote a fan fiction called Lacaro. Now, Lacaro, I'm going to upload it too. It's Sorrento, the villain of the species, point of view, and it kind of twists it a little bit. Now, maybe because it's me, but reading this story, once again, Sorrento is a hypocrite for what he wishes to do, but at the same time, I'm kind of literally on the fence about this. But once again, no spoilers. No spoilers. But one thing I absolutely do love, though, is this. Now, Ernest Cline, I'd love to meet this guy because Back to the Future enthusiast as well. And I did some research on, in this book, James Halliday, when he made his first monies, okay, he bought a DeLorean, which he pimped out to resemble the one in Back to the Future. So did Ernest Cline. Now, Ernest Cline, if you ever see this, name's Jodie, West Londoner. I've always wanted to go 88 miles in a pimped out DeLorean to resemble the one in Back to the Future. Come back and quote. Just saying. Anyway, so I'm going to be posting Andy Weir's Lacaro as well, which I do recommend reading. It's really good. I do recommend this book. It celebrates geeks and geek culture, and it is, the structure is kind of in a way predictable because it follows once again the structure of a video game, and once again an 80s video game. It has a very kind of familiar tropes from the 80s kind of crashing together, but at the same time visually it's stunning. But it just kind of shows the shift between our dark, grey, depressing world and the reality world. But at the end of the day, where do you stand in between? What would you do? I mean, Wade's ambition in life is to fill up a rocket ship full of his closest friends and take off for the stars. But that's actually quite noble. I think it's quite cool. But what do you do if you have all the power? Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as they say. But Wade as a character, though, is really, really interesting because maybe because he being in the VR world has dulled his sense at some point. Human reactions seems to be kind of dulled as well. He spent his entire life in literally in the virtual world. That dealing with real life, it seems to just retreat to the virtual world. It even makes it clear itself. He is obsessive compulsive for Halliday in his work, and he also makes it clear that he won't quit. He will spend the rest of his life in the virtual world until he gets the prize. Now, even the way the book starts as well. This book, okay, by page 9, right, it says exactly. It sets the tone quite well. Because you know how it's going to go, really. Then on the eve of February 11th, 2045, an Avatar's name appeared at the top of the scoreboard for the whole world to see. After 5 long years, the Kobeki had been finally found by an 18-year-old living in a trailer park on the outside of Oklahoma City. That kid was me. We know this. So, hey, kind of like the ending is clear, but how do you get there? So, I really, really enjoyed this book. I really do recommend it. Can't wait to see the film in a few days. Directed by Steven Spielberg. And that's pretty much it, everyone. Sign off here and take care. Bye now.